Get ready for the action, because we are diving straight into the intense rivalry between Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. A close member of Fernando Alonso's inner circle has just revealed the shocking truth about how incredibly tense the Spaniard's rivalry with Lewis Hamilton became during the 2007 season. We break down the explosive teammate battles at McLaren that set the stage for years of on-track drama and deep personal tension.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This ALEN 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at a massive statement from Oscar Piastri, who has put Lewis Hamilton on the pedestal as the greatest driver of all time. But Piastri's reasoning goes way deeper than just the stats, revealing exactly why he believes Hamilton stands out, and dropping a bombshell about where Max Verstappen is currently positioned in that conversation. We are immediately following that with a crucial update from Lewis Hamilton himself. After a tough Miami Grand Prix weekend, the British driver has issued a clear directive to Ferrari, demanding they reduce drag on the SF26 before the next race, detailing the specific performance deficit he wants the team to fix immediately. And finally, we tackle a massive question shaking the Formula One world. Should drivers have a real seat at the table when it comes to future rule changes? Lewis Hamilton is demanding change, and we explore the push for driver involvement, looking at what team principals like Fred Vasseur are saying about collaboration with the drivers. A close insider has revealed the deep-seated tension between Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton during their 2007 season at McLaren, shedding light on a rivalry that persisted long after their competitive careers. Alonso arrived at McLaren following back-to-back world championships in 2005 and 2006, aiming to secure more titles. However, McLaren simultaneously promoted the young British rookie Lewis Hamilton to the second seat, setting the stage for an explosive teammate dynamic. Hamilton proved to be a formidable competitor, securing 4 Grand Prix victories that season and finishing with the same points total as Alonso, despite Alonso believing Hamilton received preferential treatment due to his British nationality. The friction between the drivers was palpable, and they remain reportedly not on good terms, though mutual respect has grown as they are among the oldest drivers on the grid. Antonio Lobato, an F1 insider and close ally of Alonso, detailed the toxic atmosphere within the McLaren team. Lobato explained that the situation arose from the confluence of factors: Fernando arriving at a new British team with a protected young British driver, and the team's perceived reluctance to back the young Spaniard alongside the established world champion. Lobato suggested that McLaren underestimated Hamilton's potential performance level. He recalled an interview where Alonso admitted to underestimating Hamilton, acknowledging his ambition and hunger. Lobato noted that while Hamilton delivered a strong season, there were some very ugly things throughout that year. Furthermore, Lobato recounted harrowing experiences within McLaren's hospitality area, describing how Alonso was isolated, treated poorly, and threatened. He described a specific incident where a waiter was moved to a higher floor, leading to Alonso being largely ignored and forced to seek service himself. The isolation culminated when, following an email scandal, Alonso was reportedly placed in a room in Turkey with warnings to think carefully. Lobato concluded by noting that in the final race, when Alonso's car was not performing, Hamilton's difficulties effectively eliminated the other option, as Alonso lacked a competitive vehicle. Oscar Piastri has offered a nuanced perspective on the greatest Formula One driver of all time, naming Lewis Hamilton while acknowledging the complexity of the debate. Speaking to Sky Sports journalist Rachel Brooks, Piastri admitted that definitively naming the greatest is difficult due to the vastly different eras and circumstances across generations. He highlighted figures like Senna as an emotional touchstone for many, while recognizing the impressive achievements of Prost and Schumacher. Impressed for a single choice, Piastri selected Hamilton, citing not only his remarkable statistics in victories and championships, but also his conduct. Piastri emphasized Hamilton's clean driving style on the circuit and his significant impact on elevating Formula One as a global platform. Furthermore, Piastri indicated that the conversation surrounding Max Verstappen remains open, asserting that Max will ultimately also be considered one of the greatest drivers in history. The report also touched upon other recent F1 developments, including predictions regarding Lando Norris, the performance outlook for Aston Martin, and technical insights from figures like Gary Anderson. Lewis Hamilton has issued a direct instruction to Ferrari, demanding a reduction in aerodynamic drag from the SF26 following a disappointing Miami Grand Prix weekend, where he finished 7th in both the sprint and the main race. Hamilton expressed significant frustration over the performance, highlighting that the car's straight-line speed was a major issue. Although Hamilton was promoted to 6th place after his teammate Charles Leclerc received a post-race 22nd time penalty, the outcome offered little comfort after a challenging event in Florida. His race pace was severely hampered by first-lap contact with Alpine's Franco Colapinto, which resulted in damage to his car, costing him 15 to 20 points of downforce. Despite Ferrari deploying 11 different upgrades for the Miami race, the SF26 struggled to achieve necessary straight-line speed, a deficit Hamilton insists must be addressed before the next round. "We need to see if we can cut some drag before the next race, because in a straight line, we've got that deficit, and so we want to have a look into that," Hamilton told media outlets. Speaking to Sky Sports F1, Hamilton voiced his dissatisfaction with the weekend's results, describing it as no man's land in both races. He acknowledged the damage was unavoidable, but stressed the need for improvement from the team. Data from the Miami Grand Prix underscores Hamilton's lack of straight-line pace. The focus now shifts to whether Ferrari can mitigate aerodynamic drag to improve performance moving forward. Formula One is grappling with calls for increased driver involvement in future rule changes, following recent engine regulation tweaks that drew significant criticism from drivers and fans, including Max Verstappen. Four-time world champion Lewis Hamilton has publicly urged the governing body, the FIA, to establish a seat at the table for drivers when decisions about regulations are made. During the Miami Grand Prix, Hamilton asserted that while drivers engage with the FIA and F1, they currently lack a formal position in decision-making processes. He suggested that collaboration is crucial, citing an instance where he encouraged the tire supplier to consult with drivers directly on product development. Hamilton emphasized the need for drivers to be treated as stakeholders to ensure better outcomes for the sport. In response to these concerns, team leadership has offered differing perspectives. Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur stated that drivers are not excluded from feedback on key decisions, noting that drivers were involved in discussions regarding recent engine modifications. Similarly, Williams team principal James Vowles confirmed that drivers, such as Carlos Sainz, have been consulted, highlighting the role of officials like Nicolas Tambazis in ensuring driver input during regulatory changes. However, Vowles cautioned against an influx of voices, suggesting that adding too many participants can lead to unproductive discussions. He stressed the importance of ensuring that driver feedback is genuinely heard and that the process avoids bias towards a single power unit manufacturer. Efforts are reportedly underway, including the introduction of forms for drivers to submit their views, to formalize this engagement. These discussions come as Formula One bosses have agreed to implement changes to the 2027 rules, specifically tweaking the current power split to increase internal combustion output, signaling an ongoing negotiation between technical direction and driver perspectives.